All right, I'm Hunter Harriman, and I'm here at the Jinx Aquarium with.
Alyssa Rodriguez, and I'm the education specialist here at the Oklahoma Aquarium.
Thank you for having me. My first question is going to be, what was different than you expected when you first came out into this job?
When I first started in this job, I was really surprised by the size of the staff. I
Mhm.
started as a volunteer, and I grew up in Los Angeles, so I grew up going to much bigger aquariums.
Oh, okay, I
And
see.
yeah, this
Yeah.
place was really impressive to me.
Hmm.
When I moved to Oklahoma, I didn't think our aquarium would be so
Yeah.
fun and exciting, and
Hmm.
I got here and I was really impressed by it. And then I got hired and realized all of the amazing things we were doing was actually being done with a very small number of people who
Hmm.
are just really good at working with the resources they have.
Yeah, that's a great thing about Tulsa. I mean, it's small and there's not a whole lot of things, but whenever we can get something, we usually push it to the limit.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Another thing I wanted to ask was the pay. Is it pretty good? Am I able to live off of it?
I do make a livable wage. I make approximately what a teacher makes as an educator here. It's just informal education rather
Hmm.
than formal education.
Yeah.
So we do function as a nonprofit, and so it's not
As
I'm
yeah.
not rolling in the dough,
Uh-huh.
but it is definitely
Yeah.
livable.
And it's not always about the money too. It's always about whether you want the job or not too.
Yeah, this is definitely a passion career.
Another thing is it more of like hard physical labor, or are we gonna be putting like our minds to use like math and STEM and all that?
So for me as an educator,
Mhm.
it's a lot more hands off. I do a lot more of the brain power.
Oh, okay, I see.
There's a little bit of physical work
Hmm.
involved when it comes to taking care of my education animals, but the biology staff here have a lot more manual labor
Okay,
involved.
I see. I see. All right. And then what's the community like compared to other jobs? I know other jobs like let's say welding. Like welding is more agriculture. You're gonna have those uh, like cowboys. You know what I mean by that a little bit? So
Not
like,
sure.
okay, this may be just me and my personal experience, but growing up in like a small town like Collinsville, we
Hmm.
have agriculture, and it's very country folk. Is it like that here, or is it more city type people?
This job is fairly diverse, and I think that's more about the geography. Just
Oh, yeah,
being
the
in Tulsa, we
region.
have
That's true.
my coworkers from Collinsville, but I'm
Hmm.
from Los Angeles, and I have people here from Florida.
Yeah,
The aquarium industry tends to have a lot of people from all over because there are few aquariums in the United
yeah, I
States.
guess that's
So
true. It's a lot of traveling.
yeah, people who want to work for an aquarium have to move for their job a lot of times
Hmm.
if they want to be working at an aquarium. Not every city has one.
Okay, I see. All right. And what's the difficulty in finding the jobs? I never knew what the market was going to be like, if it's going to be expanding or anything like that.
So for a job in informal education, if you're looking for something that's just an education position outside of like being a teacher in a school,
Hmm.
there's a bigger market for that if you're looking to work at a museum or a nonprofit or a zoo or an aquarium. If you're looking specifically to work in an aquarium setting or zoo or aquarium,
Uh-huh.
it's kind of like I said, there's only large cities are going
Yeah.
to have them, and it's very competitive.
Okay, I see that.
And more competitive to be working with the animals. So I have a biology degree,
Hmm.
and I could go into husbandry or animal care, but you make more money in the education side.
Okay, I see.
So those tend to be a little bit more competitive as well.
Okay, I see. What would you say your worst and best parts of the job are?
Let's see. I think that the worst parts for me are the administrative side, the organizing of things. Like
Mhm.
I absolutely hate booking field trips. It's just not fun. You're sitting in front of a computer doing a
Yeah.
repetitive task, just like data entry. But I would say that the best parts are teaching, especially
Mm.
being able to teach students who are coming in on a scholarship. So people who are especially don't have backgrounds
Okay, I
in
see.
marine science or have never
Mm.
seen the ocean.
It's nice to teach them, things they haven't seen before and stuff like that. And stuff they don't know.
Yeah, it's very rewarding.
And then for my last question, I was wanting to ask, what's your personal experience? What kind of path did you take to get to here? Was it schooling?
Yeah, so I actually have my degree is from Cornell University. I have a degree in neurobiology and animal behavior,
Oh, wow.
and I was pre med for quite some time. And I actually got involved in undergraduate research
Oh, okay.
as a college student. I worked with the Cornell Lab of Ornithology, and I studied tree swallows and stress hormones in
Oh,
tree
that's
swallows.
nice. That's nice.
So I was paid to travel and work with live
Okay.
animals. I've always loved animals, and I loved telling people about my research,
Mhm.
and realized that I would probably be best suited for a position that involved getting people excited about science.
Oh,
So
okay, I see. Did you ever do a major change?
I never changed majors. No.
Okay, I see. I know a lot of people have had that problem. I've
Yeah.
heard a lot about that, and I never knew. All right. Well, that's going to be the end of this interview. Thank you very much.
Awesome. So glad you